get a quick read, y'all. Real quick, real quick. Hey, y'all. Oh, let me try this again. Clear that up. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How y'all being? Okay, so somebody who was being guarded is now tearing those walls down. This is somebody who had a lot of pride. They don't have that anymore. Okay, the boundaries, right? They felt like whoever I'm speaking about, this person felt like they were protected from something. And they're realizing that they weren't. So this could be like somebody who did something and they thought that, you know, the consequences would not hit them. And they're being humbled now because those consequences are hitting them. This is somebody who went against their better judgment. We got intuition in the reverse. Yeah. So they're feeling like this is the end of the road for them. It's almost like they're in some deep doo-doo. This was something that they were trying to hide. So they were doing something sneaky. And they thought that they would be protected from this. Maybe I don't know, somehow they felt like they weren't going to have to suffer some kind of consequence. But they're being made aware that that's a damn lie, okay? And this is humbling them. This person is very afraid. So I don't know what this is pertaining to, but they feel like they're in some deep mud, okay? Quicksand. And it's almost like they never thought that they would see the day that this would come out. We got a broken curse at the bottom of the deck, so this could be somebody playing around with some shit that they ain't have no business. Attached. And then we had the curse. So this could be somebody who, like, I'm feeling like this is somebody who was playing around in some things that they didn't have no business, binding themselves to people. So of course they never, and then you got mystery concealing. So that could be that. This person never thought that they would see the day that they get caught, the boundary, and then we got attached. So they could have binded themselves to you for your protection. You may hear that as like a spiritual cloaking, right? Somebody can cloak themselves under your energy and still attack you, right? They'll attack you, but then they'll use your protection so that it can't backfire onto them. That shit didn't work, okay? This person, like I said, they're scared. They're in a really tough spot. All of this stuff is coming back on them. This is things that they did spiritually and physically. They're not being offered a second chance. They want forgiveness, though. But it's like they went against their better judgment. There's something here where like their intuition was like screaming at them, and I guess they chose not to listen. Yeah, with thinking in the reverse, they went against their better judgment. This person refused to change. So it's like they were given warnings, right? If let's say that they were attacking you spiritually or maybe even physically, right? Somebody was warning them, like, you know, especially if it's spiritually, if they were going to like a practitioner or something, that person was telling them like, I think you need to cut this out. You're going to do it one more time, and that's going to be your last time doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the case may be, this person was coming out bitter in the first place, and they were refusing to heal. You could be a divine feminine that I'm speaking to, that this has happened to, that this person was attacking, and they never figured that you would ever find out. And they damn sure didn't figure that, you know, they would have to suffer consequences behind it. Yeah, this person is out in the cold because something that they tried to do, this is a failed manifestation. It's like they tried one more attempt, however that could be, and it didn't work. Yeah, they're going through a backfire. That's why they aren't being offered a second chance. Like they're being humbled right now. Like God is humbling whoever this is, and they're out of options. They're out of choices. They may not recover from this. It's like they had a chance to heal, to change, to evolve, right? And it's like they showed the divine almost that they wasn't trying to do that. So of course, the season that we are in is like creating something new, building something new. You know what I'm saying? We're leaving the old world and like transitioning into the new. This person was still stuck in their ways. They did not want to come out. So it's like, okay, yeah, they didn't want to change their heart. But it's like now that they're going through all of these backfires, you know, and those backfires are basically whatever it is that they sent you through, they have to face that, but not only for what they did to you, whoever else that they did this shit to, right? That's a lot. This person is carrying a lot of burdens, and they feel like somebody broke a promise to them. So this could be somebody, whoever this is that told them that they would be protected, that they wouldn't receive any consequences. They feel betrayed because they didn't see this shit coming. Right? They took this leap of faith to do some things, thinking that this person told them the truth about them being protected. Meanwhile, you have this last person that just told them, maybe that was God, their intuition was their spidey senses were tingling, letting them know, like, yeah, you might not want to do this. This might not be the best move. They went for it anyways. We got refusal to change at the bottom of the deck still. Again. This person was almost obsessed with something that you were building, or with something that your foundation, your stability. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you were building. This could be your family. This could be with your finances. This could be your security, anything that brings you stability. You know what I'm saying? This person was constantly, almost like obsessed with attacking that, because they didn't want you to have this. It's like they didn't want you to have peace. They didn't want you to have joy. They didn't want you to have connection. They damn near didn't want you here. You know, it's almost like they wanted you here, but they wanted you miserable while you were here, right? For them, that was justice. This is because you rejected this. Whoever this is, you rejected them. It could be in a relationship. It could be in, you rejected an offer to work with them. But this is due to rejection. And because you rejected them, they call themselves trying to bind you. And almost like hold you captive without you knowing. So yeah, this is a spiritual attack. Causing you a lot of delays. Maybe at one point you felt like everything that you were working towards it just wasn't profiting, it wasn't benefiting. You went through a lot of stress, a lot of turbulence, a lot of unnecessary BS, right? And you just couldn't figure out why. This person was over there throwing money around, basically, because that shit, from what I hear, it ain't cheap. So yeah, so now they're going through, they wanted you rejected. You rejected them, and they wanted you to feel rejected in every aspect of your life. So I feel like, and then we got pride in the reverse out here. So I feel like I'm talking about someone who is not used to being told no. This is a childish ass motherfucker. Like, they always get what they want. Even if they have to do something sneaky to do it, they are going to get what they want. The problem is, that may have worked for a time, but they were never protected, right? They were throwing all this shit out, and they were just throwing it. And the attacks may have been hidden, but they weren't even hidden how they should have been, right? Because you were protected. Now this person is going through a backfire. Whoever this is never told them about that, right? People be so quick to go play with magic, they don't tell you the pros and the cons of that shit, right? They'll tell you, yeah, we can do it, we can get it done. You go pay a practitioner. Yeah, hell yeah, they're gonna take your money. They're gonna keep taking your money as long as you go. But they don't tell you that, you know, that shit only lasts for so long. And then, you know, you might have to do it again. And even if you do it again, you're going to have to pay that back. And if you don't pay that back, It may hit your kids. That's why in this time, we out here breaking generational curses. That's how that shit started. Somebody way back when was fucking around, and then us in this generation got to come in and fix it. So we getting hit even though we didn't do certain things. So that's what this person is going. So if they don't get hit, now they have to worry about, okay, what if this shit come back on my child or my grandchild? Or what if I think stuff is smooth now and then 5 years later, because it always come back right when you least expect it. But see, they don't tell you that. I think this person is shit. I don't even think, I know this person is starting to go through this shit because they're being humbled. They're scared. They feel like they in deep shit, right? We got shallow in the reverse. They feel like they in deep shit for the things that they were doing, playing around in this dark. Under this damn moon, this could be rituals. They may have had a lot of third parties and peers in their head telling them things was okay. This person, whoever this person is, that was like, oh yeah, you're fine. Nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna be okay. Child, please. It was a fantasy. It's a fantasy. It was an illusion. And maybe they were throwing up a lot of illusions to you, you know. That's why they're not being offered a second chance. So it's like they're living under, you know, this dark cloud that they wanted you under. This is because of their lust and their greed. And really because of their rejection issues. This person you rejected them somehow, some way. And they felt like they wasn't done with you. They call themselves trying to tire you out. And then you got a lot of karmic lessons. So again, this is just a really dark individual who was trying to bind themselves to you. But this is the final straw, okay? I feel like you're receiving a lot of clarity about what it is that you went through. You know, usually when you go through things like this, it triggers you into your spiritual awakening because you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're talking to people, they don't understand. So what do you do next? Of course, you go looking for God. This is the only way. I need help. And then, you know, he started bringing in all this information to you. And it started making sense, it started clicking, and you know, so you're receiving a lot of clarity. But more than that, you're receiving justice. So that's a good thing. It's always a good thing. And yeah, so you may be healing from these attacks. I had posted a word about that too on my page. I think I posted it this morning. So if y'all haven't checked that out, go check that out. But it was basically saying exactly this. You're healing from some kind of attack, like a binding. This could have been a love spell, whatever bindings that they do. But yeah, that was the message that I released earlier today. So, you know, if you're just tuning in to the live and you didn't catch all of that, go ahead and watch those. I think I posted one video. I don't know, but they was today. So yeah, you are healing from this. Maybe you feel a little lighter, a clearer head. Maybe you felt like, you know, it was a lot of crown chakra attacks going on. But again, that also triggered you into your awakening. Thank you, I appreciate you. Yeah, and then you got cloudy judgment. So they were attacking your crown chakra. But it's a blessing, it's a curse, right? Because they did that, you have a higher perspective. You may have grown, ain't even know may have. Usually when this happens, you elevate in spiritual rank because of your wisdom and your knowledge and what you were able to endure and make it through. So, yeah, the secret's out. This person may be trying to run, but it's like, where you gonna go? Where you running from? The fog? Where are you going? What are you gonna do? You finna run from God? That's cute, real cute. Where are you going? But yeah, they're trying to run because they feel like they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anyone to turn to. The people that they may have been working with that was helping them do these things, they don't want to help them no more. Because what's happening is those people are also getting hit with backfires. So it's a lot of change of perspectives going on, right? Because practitioners usually, especially the ones that play in the dark, I don't know how they set they shit up. I don't play in the dark, but from what I hear, they believe that they can't get hit with a backfire because they're not the one with the intent, right? They believe since it wasn't their intention to harm someone, they were doing it for someone else, that they can't get hit with the backfire. And baby, they are in for a rude awakening. This is coming for the person who paid and the person who put the work in. You can get hit, okay? Practitioner or not. That's for the person who requested the spell and for the person who went ahead and put it in. Okay, because it's almost like people have to be learned. You cannot keep doing this shit to people. Okay, y'all out here ruining people's lives, quite literally. And remaining hidden. It can't be like that forever. Right? So, yeah, this conflict is over. This spiritual warfare that they had you in this almost endless cycle of is complete. They never thought that they'd see the day that they'd even be getting caught up for this shit. That's not just for the person you rejected. That's for the people that they was working with too. Yeah, again, they're not protected, because they can't cloak anymore. They're bound by their own magic, by their own deeds, the work of their own hands. They're bound by that. So even if they had the inkling of saying, because I feel like I was releasing some words, I can't remember how long ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, right? Where these people, it's like God was checking them and they thought that you were doing something back to them. But you wasn't. This was God trying to get their attention. So it's like now, even if they wanted to say, oh yeah, then we at war, they're fighting me, they throwing me. No, they know for a fact that this is their own shit. This is their own shit. This don't have it quite literally don't have nothing to do with you. You've been somewhere healing, focusing on you, trying to get your life back on track, right? And they've been constantly playing games. So now their games, that energy doesn't die. You've learned while you were healing, you've learned how to alchemize that. Healing is alchemizing that, right? If somebody sends you an attack, instead of you sitting in that sunken place and being depressed, maybe you went to therapy. Maybe you painted a picture, you wrote a song, you drew about it, you got up and started dancing, you went to work out, you did something with that energy, right? That's alchemy. You took something negative that they were sending your way and you found something, okay, I'm feeling down right now, I'm feeling sad, but I'm not finna sit here, let me go outside, let me get some air. That's alchemy. Something that small, right, will change the energy. So now that negative energy, it got to go back somewhere. It's going to go back. Whether you say return to sender or not, you really don't have to do that. As long as you elevate your energy, that negative energy cannot stay with you. So it has to go back to whoever sent it. They know that now. What's up, Bianca? I ain't seen you in a while. So yeah, they're going through, this is a shocking time for them because, again, these were the big dogs, right? No, nothing can happen to me. I've done this a million times to so many people. Nothing has ever happened. It's never gonna, they believe in the dark shit, but they don't believe in God. Like how? Are you cool? How you believe in the occult, but you don't even believe in the man who made the occult? Or not the man, the being. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people is twisted. But yeah, so they're in a shocking time now because all of their truths are coming to the light. They're finding themselves in an endless cycle of basically backfires, right? And this is something that, shit, they know is the backfire. There's no confusion about this. They may be losing a lot of things. They may be losing people. It depends on what they was doing. I know I have released a word too about necromancy. So y'all know that's summoning ancient dead spirits. You don't wake up. They just been, with these rituals and shit. They playing with things that they don't even know, okay? So now when that shit comes back to them, they know how to send it. They don't know what to do when it's coming back, right? When you were going through this shit, you had to learn what to do. You had to learn how to alchemize. You had to learn, it's levels to this shit. They only knew how to play. So, yeah, a lot of backfires, y'all. A lot of illusions coming back to haunt them. Again, it was given, they were attacking your crown chakra heavily. So there's no more cloudy judgment for you. Feeling like you in just like this, your world is just fucked up. Like everything around you is going wrong. Like you wasn't being protected. That only built you. It made you stronger. Right? It's unfortunate. You shouldn't have had to go through that. I'm sorry if you did have to go through that, but, you survived it. These people are craving for some lights now. Now they're the ones in the dark. Okay? They wanted you in the dark. They were always spying and watching and lurking on you. They can't do that anymore. That's the word that I had posted earlier too. They're being spiritually blocked from you. So if they were spiritually spying, tapping in, they can't do that no more. A lot of these practitioners are even losing, exactly, they're bound. They're losing their gifts, okay? That's the consequences of not doing your due diligence, of checking to see if this is even something that you should be doing. Because most of the time, majority of the time, when you doing that shit, it's supposed to be for protection. It's not just supposed to be out here fucking with people. Okay? But hey, so they may be feeling like, their world is coming apart. And shit, it is. Because everything that they knew, they finding out that they didn't know shit at all. So... And I just saw healing in reverse and I just flipped his back too. So, a lot of these people, they won't be able to overcome this, unfortunately, because a lot of these people were sending death magic. They were doing graveyard magic. It has to go back. Unfortunately. But it's like, this is what they wanted for you. So now for you, the delays are over. Okay, distracted in the reverse, sidetrack, change, delays, those are over. This turbulent time for you is over with. I feel like you may feel like you have a fresh start. Okay, you may have some new opportunities coming in. You may just be spiritually feeling lighter. Maybe maybe you feel a little bit more tapped in, where at first you were feeling a little cloudy. Maybe you had a spiritual sickness, meaning something was wrong with you. But every time you went to the doctor, they couldn't find shit. But you knew, like, let's say you had a headache, and you've had this constant headache because it was crown chakra magic, right? You going to the doctor, whatever medicine they prescribing is not working. They can't figure out. You did all the tests. They don't know. You should be fine. That's a spiritual sickness, right? That's something that could be an attack. So you may be getting, your intuition back, your mind back right, your life back right. You're healing from, this mess that was supposed to destroy you. Just because someone else had their own issues with greed, lust, rejection, whatever the case may be. So yeah, this binding with that commitment in reverse, that binding has been broken. And then you got a divine masculine. So this could be God, right? Stepping in, I was finna say, finally, I had to check myself. Because, we be feeling like you taking too long, okay? He be like, oh, I'm right on time. We be like, yeah, yesterday. But, he's here. he's here now. He been here, but you seeing the benefits of it. The trickery that came out together, divine masculine trickery. So this could be like God the King, coming in, clearing up the fog, the trickery, the lies, blocking these people out from you, okay? Blocking them, causing the separation. Yeah, so it's coming out, humbler of pride. I heard that yesterday. I literally heard that yesterday. And that was all I heard, the humbler of pride. So it's like he's coming in and he's humbling these prideful ass people, these people who were infatuated and obsessed with like trying to bring you down. And to be honest with you, they're humbling themselves because this is their own karma. So you or God really got anything to do with this. Okay, this is the work of their own hands. Meanwhile, you're free-spirited now. You're breaking free. You may have a different perspective on life. Maybe you appreciate life a little more. Maybe you're ready to take risks since you've been through hell. Maybe you're not scared no more to do whatever it is that you want to do. So they were trying to tire you out and break your heart and beat you down. And, all of these things are now happening to them. No more second chances. Let's see, anything else? That's I don't even know. Again, no more second chances because they didn't want to change. You chose to heal, right? Even when you didn't know that these could have been spiritual attacks, right? You just knew your life was fucked up and you wanted to do something so that it wouldn't be fucked up. Like I don't want to say the average person, but typically when people go through things that you may have gone through, they take themselves out of here. You know what I'm saying? Or they end up places that aren't so favorable. You wanted to do the work. You wanted to heal. You did the praying. You went to therapy. You changed your life. You changed your eating habits. You changed your whatever habits. You were doing whatever the fuck you could do to get your life right. Okay? These people, this person, whoever this is to you, did not want to do that. They wanted to take the easy way out. Everything you did was so much harder. Even the easy things, they were made harder for you. Right? But you still kept going. You didn't give up on yourself. You kept pushing, you kept thriving, and that's why you survived. And now you can thrive, and now you have these possibilities that almost seemed impossible for you, that other people did want to be impossible for you. All because, why? They didn't want to change. They didn't want to transform. They were too afraid to fly. They wanted to take the easy way out. Y'all, I had to calm down. I almost started preaching. Whew. Yeah, we got the second chance card coming out in the reverse again. I'm telling you, like, it's tied up on them. And I'm not saying that from a prideful way, because it's truly sad. Second chance healing in reverse. It's truly sad. You know, it's nothing to be like, yay, yay, now you getting your... No, because the shit that they finna go through is horrible. But then it's like, when you see it, you're gonna be like, damn, you wanted that for me? All I did was tell your stupid ass no. You act like I never said yes before. Is you cool? You act like I never said yes before. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then we got new beginnings in the reverse again, because this person was disloyal, unfaithful. They betrayed the fuck out of you. They betrayed, honestly, they betrayed themselves. We could sit up and keep talking about, oh, they did this to you, they did this. And they did. It's true. But they also fucked themselves. And that's the major issue here. And I think that now they're starting to see that, because they're stripped from their fucking peace. These people can't even sleep at night. They may come back trying to make amends. We seen second chance in the reverse like 3-4 times. That shit is not happening. Even if they wanted to come back and make amends, it's like God has blocked these people from you spiritually, and you doing it in the physical. So exactly, like what do you mean? And making amends, baby, you tried to kill me. I've learned how to forgive, but you could never be around me again. You do know that what are you talking about? Yeah, so this is the final straw. Again, it's giving these people, you're not the first one. Okay, so that's why they scared. They know what they've done. And they know what they know what they've done. They know what, So, I don't know. It sucks, but, you have to get your justice. You have to be able to heal, and you have to be able to move on with your life, because you do have a destiny. These people had destinies as well. They chose a different path. You chose to heal. They chose to play in the dirt. So now you get the rewards of the path that you took. And now they get the rewards of the path that they took. It's just as simple as that. But as they get in these rewards, their masks are coming off. People are going to see them for exactly who they are, how they are, and what they've done. More than that, they're going to see themselves. They're going to be forced to see this in the mirror and realize that this ain't even them. And that's probably what's going to break their heart more, with healing in the reverse. It's almost like they're going to come to. That's just like, even if we take it to the Bible, right? When Judas betrayed Jesus, after it was done, He just came to and could not deal with himself. And he just couldn't deal with himself. He couldn't believe that this is me. That's the shocking revelation. So yeah, for you though, since you now have these truths, it's important for you to not fall into the trap of bitterness, okay? Because to be honest with you, that's how they got there. The goal is to not become your oppressor, right? But that's how they got there. Somebody hurt them so bad, and then they fell into this trap of bitterness, and then they put on this mask and became somebody that they didn't know, and then they started doing stupid shit, right? So as you continue to recover from this, it's very important for you to not fall into that trap. So you have to learn how to release this, let this go. You're gonna feel, you still healing, and you're human. You gonna feel, you gonna hurt. But don't let that harden your heart, because that's exactly how they got into the predicament that they got in. And as much as we can talk shit about them, the truth is they are unhealed. Okay? They went through some really traumatic things, and they never chose to heal from it. Just like you went through some traumatic things, but you did choose to heal. So don't fall in the trap. It's very easy to fall in that trap. Thank you, Bookie. I appreciate you. It ain't me, baby. Let me tell you, this wisdom, it came from some shit, baby, I have been through, okay? Whew. So yeah. But you got a lot of options coming in, okay? So that's something for y'all to look forward to. As you continue to be more devoted to yourself, more healing to yourself, more kind to yourself, have grace, okay? Because you can easily get trapped back into the world, right? This hustle culture. You have to remember, you just survived some shit. This is almost like you coming home from war. So be graceful with yourself. Don't beat yourself up if sometimes you just want to, okay, I need to ground myself, and I can't just be out here moving. I got to slow it down a little bit. That's okay. You're healing, babes. You literally just got out of war. So, other people just didn't see it. And sometimes that's worse, because you have sympathy for a war vet, because you went through your shit in silence. People don't know what the fuck you went through. You know what I'm saying? So you be graceful to yourself. Anything else? Yeah, we got a broken curse and a soulmate connection. Okay, so this could be someone coming in. This could be a friend. This could be a family member. This could be you and God. But this curse is breaking. You're healing. Somebody got to come in and help you carry this load. Okay? So, yeah, y'all, that's what I got for y'all today. Well, tonight, rather. If anything else comes out, I will be back. If anybody is sending y'all messages talking about readings, or the Lord told me to tell y'all, it ain't me. I don't even play like that. I do have a link in the bio, so if you would like a personal reading, go through there, okay? But other than that, y'all, yeah, that is the message. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. But yeah, so I'll catch y'all tomorrow, okay?